Hello everyone and welcome to Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast celebrating Pac-Man's 40th birthday. I'm your host Muddy, and joining me today is Brandon.
Happy birthday, you fucking pellet munching motherfucker.
Ills.
What an old fart.
And Saf.
Is this the awkward time where I revealed that I've never played a Pac-Man game?
Oh my gosh, Saf.
Wow.
It's been 40 years and you have 40 years to play one. You didn't play a single one.
He still hasn't released a good one.
I'm not that
wow.
old.
Well, it's been 40 years since you've been on the podcast. It's been a while. Welcome back.
Indeed. I haven't tried.
So this week, a lot happened, by which I mean literally nothing happened. Not a very eventful week, gotta say, but again, it was Pac-Man's birthday, 40th birthday, and for today, as of
we're recording this, at least.
And for his birthday, they announced a special new game developed by Amazon Game Studios. Hey, did you know Amazon Game Studios actually making a game? Whoa!
Wow! Finally,
I know. And it's called Pac-Man Live Studio. And this is a cooperative multiplayer Pac-Man game specifically designed around Twitch. It's launching this month in June.
Weird, very weird.
Very strange game, yeah. So you can play it together with your friends online. You can you make your own mazes. There's a maze creator. There's a classic mode where you can just play normal, and then there's an endless mode. Where you basically only get one life per level, and you just keep going until you die. I guess you kind of call it like a battle royale. No, well, you also there's teams on this too. So,
okay.
You get teammates and yeah. What a bizarre game.
Yeah, interesting that it's played on Twitch. Like that is just that's just new. You know, that's not
no
something
download,
I've seen
yeah,
before.
I should mention no download required, right?
Yeah.
You just play entirely on Twitch.
Right.
Okay.
Very weird.
You should play it on stream.
Yeah,
You should. We'll do it for you, Pac-Man.
So do you need like a Prime account for this, or like a Twitch account, or like you just
Twitch account?
You do need a Twitch account. Twitch account is required.
Right.
But like you basically just go to the Pac-Man Live Studio channel and Twitch channel, and you just play and create directly on that. It's weird. I mean, we've never had something like this before, right?
Yeah. I'm interested. I want to give it, mess around with it and play it. Pac-Man co-op could be kind of fun.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Definitely.
I'm interested in that for sure. And I like, Pac-Man's a game simple enough where I could feasibly see this being done on, just a Twitch stream, right?
I have like so many questions for it. Like, are they going to try and emulate like kind of like Twitch plays Pokemon or some shit like that, or
No.
Well, this is even beyond that. Like, you just like you load up the video, but you're also loading up the video game.
Yeah.
like what? So then how does that work?
Well, so I guess streaming games has been a thing for a little bit, right? Like we have PlayStation Now, we have Microsoft's xCloud, Google Stadia, right?
And they have websites that you can go to and maybe legally or illegally, just play a game kind of like on the browser, so that's been a thing too.
Okay, so
kind of like
when you did
things.
Okay, that's where my confusion lied, because like you mentioned like Twitch and like loading up videos and streaming. I just assumed that it's just a video clip of it, and then you just do some editing somewhere else.
You load the game.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's very similar to like Rand said, just like a lot, but it's on Twitch is I guess the weird thing, right? But it's like
you have to do it through Twitch.
I wonder if this is going to be a push from Twitch going forward,
having different games like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, Pac-Man, I feel like that's a very good fit for it, right? Because it's something you can just jump into and stop playing and just come back to it anytime. Very easy to pick up and play. So,
it's
I
just
think
super
it's a
simple, right? Just
it's a good
simple,
way to start, and it seems like a good game that would at least get some viewers in. People like Tetris 99 was really big. It still kind of is too on Twitch. So maybe who knows if this will take off and how good it will be, but it seems like a good fit for at least the first one.
Yeah, I agree. But it's still weird endeavor though.
Weird
endeavor.
Weird thing. That's the big birthday announcement too for Pac-Man.
So that was kind of the big 40th anniversary announcement. I mean, which I guess makes sense. Pac-Man doesn't see too many games too often.
Sure.
Right?
If I had my choice, I probably would have wished for Pac-Man Championship Edition, a new one. Because I'm a big fan of that game. It's really cool. So.
Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 was recently free. So that was more for the pandemic than for his birthday.
Right. That's a good game, though. That's a good game.
A good game. Well, while we're on the subject of Pac-Man, his 40th birthday, you guys, any Pac-Man games you particularly like that are your favorite? Want to shout out, talk about a little bit?
I mean, I know this from the emotes, but the new adventures Pac-Man 2. When he you know exactly what I'm talking about, the smug Pac-Man walk.
That fucking smug Pac-Man walk. What a classic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never played that game. Obviously I know it from the memes and everything.
Yeah.
But that doesn't look like a particularly good game. It's very weird. It's like a point and click adventure game, but you just guide Pac-Man around. What an odd choice for a video game.
Yeah. It was a completely different direction to any other Pac-Man game that you came before it. They really, really wanted
extremely.
Yeah, it's very weird, very different kind of Pac-Man game.
And that's Pac-Man 2. That's the sequel.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
For the SNES, no less. God, that should be one of the Nintendo Switch Online games. That would be interesting.
God. Cool.
I would try it for the first time in my life.
Same.
I'm a big fan of Pac-Man Championship Edition. Obviously, you just mentioned. I mean, that game is fantastic.
That game, I loved, especially the DX, the original.
Yeah.
That was really fantastic.
Just play that game for a long time, and it's really simple and fun. I mean, that's what Pac-Man is, right? And but the Championship Edition brings in just the presentation of the game is also what really hits home with the music and the neon lights and the flashing and the sounds, and it's like you're playing a crazy arcade. It's like you're in an 80s arcade cabinet almost. It's nuts.
Yeah. Just everything about the Championship Edition is just really like you said, down to the presentation too, right? It's just and they did a really good job of hey, here's Pac-Man, but you can say Pac-Man's a pretty simplistic game, right? And I think that they evolved Pac-Man enough to make it really fun as a modern downloadable game, right?
Yeah. Passionate enough the wave of games Geometry Wars and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was very much in that ilk, right? But and it worked really well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really love Championship Edition DX.
Yeah, that's a good one. And now I've never played Pac-Man World games myself. I know some people are fond of those.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we had any fans of Pac-Man World in here, because
never played Pac-Man World. I feel like it's a game I want to get around to someday. Pac-Man World 2. Now I do own the game. I bought it one day, but and this is a game I want to talk about. A Pac-Man game. Now that's not the reason why I bought Pac-Man World 2. I actually bought Pac-Man World 2 for Pac-Man Versus on the GameCube.
Oh.
And I have played that game.
Yeah.
Didn't we play it, Muzzy, actually?
Yes, we did.
We did.
When I visited you, we played Pac-Man Versus. I played it for the first time when I played it.
And I busted out the fucking Game Boy Advance so we could play it, and with the cable and everything. And it's really cool. It's actually really fun. I like Pac-Man Versus a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Pac-Man Versus is such a unique, interesting take on Pac-Man, right? Also, just the historical aspect of it is fascinating too, right? It's Nintendo made a Pac-Man game.
Yeah, Nintendo Miyamoto was like super involved in
Shigeru
it. Yeah,
Miyamoto made a Pac-Man game. Yeah.
yeah,
And just as a concept, right? Just it really utilized that whole Game Boy Advance, GameCube connectivity. Like, oh, everyone has their own screen, right?
yeah. And Pac-Man is using the Game Boy, and he can see the whole maze.
And just that concept is super cool, right? Or not
Yeah.
everyone has their sorry. Pac-Man has his own screen, and then like everyone else is sharing a screen. And it kind of was like the Wii U before the Wii U, right?
Yeah, it was. It definitely was.
Good God.
And now, wasn't there a recent version of that game released?
Yeah, there was on the Switch.
Yeah, on Switch. Yeah,
you could in the Namco collection on Switch. You can actually play Pac-Man versus. Just the other person has to download like an app, basically
Right.
a free app,
Okay.
and you can play Pac-Man versus.
That's a neat
For the first time since the GameCube, actually, legally, anyway.
very cool.
That's
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a neat weird.
And they have Mario. Mario's the announcer in that game.
Yeah,
of all
here
things.
we go.
He's like, ready?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we can count this, but I'm going to include it anyway since we're talking about Mario. But like Mario Kart Arcade GP. Like,
Hey, I mean, it's got Pac-Man in it.
Yeah, Pac-Man's in it. That's a worthy. Man, those arcade games are really fun. The Mario Kart arcade games.
Yeah, they're weird because they're like it doesn't feel like a Mario Kart.
No,
game, honestly, when
it feels
I play
very
it.
different from Mario Kart.
Yeah, but they're still fun.
I mean, I think they're more well designed around the physical wheel that you're using, right? Which I think is cool and nice. I really loved playing that game in the arcades.
There's like 5 different versions of that game now at this point. I get very confused. I don't know which version I'm playing.
You're like, I don't know. Yeah, I sincerely don't know the differences between any of them.
Me neither. I'm just like, oh, here's Mario Kart Arcade. There we go. And Pac-Man, because they're all developed by Bandai Namco, and Pac-Man I think is in all of them.
Quite possibly.
Some of them have like different other guest characters, like the drum from that other game.
Tycho.
Yeah. So it's funny to see like all the different characters, but yeah, I think Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man are both in those games, which is just funny.
They also made a VR version at some point.
Oh God, really?
Mario Kart Arcade. Yeah. They made a VR version for arcades, of course, still. But you put on like a helmet, and then you have to physically throw the items.
Oh no,
that would be fun.
Wouldn't that cause like motion sickness or something like that?
I could, depending on who you are.
I wouldn't know. I haven't tried it. I haven't even heard of impressions, to be honest, of people trying it. I don't know.
That's fascinating. I need to definitely check.
I wonder if they have that at Dave & Buster's.
That is definitely, huh?
I wonder if they have those at Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, I don't know if they made those over to America in any way. I would have to imagine someone tried to get their hands on it, right? In the West, because I mean for sure Japan had it, but it's so much harder to come by arcade games in the West. Right?
Yeah, I mean like all the new arcade games go to Dave & Buster's. I feel like at this point. That's
yeah. Arcades, what a thing. That's Pac-Man's legacy, though, right? Pac-Man, the arcades.
Still living.
It was Pac-Mania.
One of the most iconic video game characters, period. So, happy birthday, Pac-Man.
Happy 40th, Pac-Man.
Happy 40. He's an old man. Well, while we're here, what games have you guys been playing? What's what kind of anything you've been playing recently that you want to talk about, that you've been interested in, etc.? New releases, old releases, doesn't really matter.
Should start with Ills because he doesn't have anything to say about Pac-Man.
No, I've never cared about Pac-Man. I've been playing Breath of Fire 2 on Nintendo Switch Online.
Ooh, wow, what is that game?
That's
Tell us.
interesting. Nice. I like that game.
It's an RPG.
RPG by Capcom, which is
yes, by Capcom. It's one of the worst translations probably ever. It's very grind heavy, lots of random encounters like every 4 or 5 steps. But I mean, it's pretty good. Like it's relaxing. Like I just finished playing Tales of Vesperia before it, and there was a lot of talking in that game that I wasn't a huge fan of. But there's a lot less talking in this game, which is very relaxing right now. So yeah.
Yeah, you could just grind for a couple hours.
Well, I mean, when I play RPGs, I don't really grind.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard this game in particular is fairly grindy though.
Yeah, one and two are very grindy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played them both on Game Boy Advance when they had those re-releases back in the day, and I remember that.
I had no idea they came to Game Boy Advance. Well,
yeah, and they still use the same translation.
Yeah,
bad translation. But
yeah,
some of like the Final Fantasy games got retranslated on GBA.
Well, Square cares more than Capcom does.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean that's Capcom versus.
But then Final Fantasy VII's re-release still got the same translation, which isn't that great.
Yeah. I guess it depends, right? That's funny though. Because Capcom was like, that's good enough as is, right?
Yeah, just throw it. Just dump the ROM on a Game Boy cartridge and call it a fucking day.
We're not putting effort into this one.
That's literally what it was. It was just a game dumped on a Game Boy Advance cartridge.
GB had a lot of those, both for NES
had a
and
lot
Super
of
Nintendo games.
Here's a lot of Super Nintendo games for sure.
Yeah, I mean Nintendo put a bunch of their NES games just straight up, like no change, just like here's Metroid. What?
Yeah, that always confused me. As I was like, NES games obviously are a lot less complicated and don't take as long to beat, or some of them you can't even beat because they're very arcade porty, and like. I was always like, who would pay $30 for like Super Mario Brothers in like 2003 or whatever the fuck it was,
Yeah, especially because they have the Super Mario Advance games too on there.
Yeah,
it's like, why the hell would you pay for Super Mario Brothers, just the original?
Right.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, anything else you've been playing else? You want to talk
about? City Skylines. Played a little bit of that.
You playing that on Game Pass?
Yep.
Nice.
That was pretty
nice. Came back on Game Pass. It was off, and then they put it back on.
And no, that's it. Just a bunch of JRPGs right now.
Okay, been in the JRPG mood right now. Okay, cool. Safi, you've been gone for a while. Have you been playing in the weeks and weeks that you've been missing?
Aside from Final Fantasy VII Remake, I've been playing Indivisible, that action RPG platform that people love.
We did a Game Club episode on it. Check it out.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you apparently liked it a lot. You guys did, in general. But
yeah,
this game is very beautifully animated. I think it was like supposed to be fully hand drawn, like every cell, which is fucking gorgeous. And I really, really like the combat of this game. Like it feels kind of Paper Mario-esque a little bit, but not necessarily. And the characters themselves are super diverse, insanely diverse. Like the range of characters that you can collect. I'm still super early on in it, but I do like that we have a shitty character that everyone shits on named Dar that you get in the beginning of the game, which is pretty fucking fun and hilarious.
Dar, I like Dar.
Yeah, Dar introduces himself as an evil person, so it's very easy to just kind of like make fun of him or like tell him to shut the fuck up because he's just a dick.
They say the gameplay is Valkyrie Profile-esque, right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
people say.
Yeah, that's what they say. I've never played that game, but we did mention that on the podcast that the Game Club. I want to play that game now that I played Indivisible because.
I'll play the game that influenced it, right?
Yeah, the combat's pretty cool.
I haven't played Valkyrie Profile, but I guess I will have to play that as well. Yeah. I'm only early on, and so far it's just been really, really fun to play through, at the very least. And
in I'll tell you, the platforming sections, the further you get in the game, the better they are.
oh fuck, really?
Yeah, they get really good later
It's
on.
the only thing that gets good, really.
Oh no. Yeah.
I backed that game on Kickstarter.
And then you gave it away.
I finally got my code for the Switch, and then I gave it away.
Oh my god. I remember that because like I bought it when it got released early, and then like about a couple of days later, you're like, "Oh, do you want to get a free game?" I was like, "Shit!" Fuck. If only I was
The
patient.
most baffling thing is my backer code came in like after weeks after the public release of the Switch version.
That's a little annoying.
Like I was there first, you know?
Right.
And this is how I get treated.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bloodstained I got like before. Like I got a physical copy and I got it before like the game came out. Like,
yeah, I mean, I just backed the Wonderful 101 recently, and I got that code 2 weeks before the public release, which is very neat.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Which I guess I can transition to. I was playing Wonderful 101 recently.
How does it compare to the original?
It is, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, they called the Wonderful 101 Remastered. They didn't do shit.
Oh, no.
That's really funny because I saw an article that was like, it was like comparison, and I looked at like one picture and I was like, what's the comparison? This is the same picture. I was like, that Pam meme from The Office was like, they're literally the same picture.
I mean, so obviously graphically I was never expecting an upgrade, right? But like even like on the PS4 and PC, like they're using the same 720p Wii U assets, just upscaled to like whatever resolution you want, right?
Yeah.
Which is like weird. But I mean, graphics, who cares, right?
It was still fine. They were still good in the first place anyway.
Yeah, it was already an HD game, so like I can't complain to it. But like the weirdest thing to me is like they talked about it kind of like, hey, look, we realized that the game wasn't particularly accessible. We want to make it more accessible so more people can try it out, more people can love it, whatever, right? And like, there's still no real tutorial in the game, you know? Which, I mean, for someone like me, I've already played the game, so it's like, whatever, right? I don't care. But like, they didn't add any real tutorial to the game, so it's still just as confusing and just as weird as it was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Still a platinum game.
And then the weirdest thing that they didn't change properly. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was about to ask. I think you're going to just talk about it, but like, I remember the game. Like, you didn't have like a proper dodge or shield option.
Yeah,
like,
you had to buy those options.
Yeah,
and you still have to purchase those options. But instead, what they did is after the prologue mission, like it tells you it gives you a big old prompt. Hey, you should buy Unite Guts and Unite Spring, which are the dodge and shield options.
Okay.
And when you go into the shop, they're only worth 10 coins, and you get like 10,000 at least per level. So like, it's basically free. But at that point, why not just include it in the base moveset? Right?
Yeah.
Which is weird. And then like the dual screen stuff, they basically didn't change at all. Like, you have to press the minus button to bring up like a little picture-in-picture, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
I did that on the Wii U because I played with the Pro Controller.
With the Pro, yeah.
Yeah.
They did. I thought they would basically try to remove as much dual screen functionality as they could. No, it's exactly the same. It is exactly the same game that it was on the Wii U. I'll tell you,
playing it like that sucked during those parts.
It's. I mean, some of those sections with the picture-in-picture is not good.
Especially near the end of the game. It's fucking. There's some real shitty parts.
It's such a. I don't know why they. I mean, clearly they didn't put much effort into this port, right?
Yeah.
And then the weirdest, personally, the worst change in this game, if you played the original game, so you would draw a little glyph to do your attack, right? But if you press the X button after you drew the glyph, it would go out and do its own move, and then so you can still control your character and do another move on top of that, right? Yeah. That ability is now locked behind a shop purchase.
What?
And to make matters, because you just had it by default in the Wii U version.
That's what made the combat super interesting. Like,
I thought that was the most interesting part of the combat. Yeah. But like, not only did they make it part of the shop, right? But you have to buy it 7 different times, one for each Unite attack. And the price gets more expensive every time you buy one. And so you don't actually unlock the full potential of the combat till who knows when.
I don't like that.
No, yeah, that's an honestly terrible change. Yeah.
So you're saying not worth $2 million?
No. I mean, it being a Kickstarter thing especially kind of makes it disappointing how little they bothered putting the effort into it. I mean, I'm glad it's on modern platforms. I'm glad the game's not stuck on a Wii U, But
I mean, you can still be glad and be disappointed at the same time.
But yeah, I'm very disappointed in this port. I have to be honest. Like, they should have put more work into it. And I guess it makes sense, right? The game was out 2 months after the Kickstarter release, which means the game was ready, right? Like, let's be honest, right? The game was ready to release regardless. So really, like, the Kickstarter was, I don't know what it was.
What was it for?
The self-publishing thing, more than I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it made it easier for like the logistics of like, I mean, Platinum has to learn how to distribute copies for the first time, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I imagine that helped.
Maybe you got a sweet jacket.
It probably helped it become a physical release, but like I don't buy physical games, so I don't particularly care. Yeah.
Well, they are gonna do Luca's first mission, second mission.
Yeah. The game is gonna get 2 DLC updates, right?
Okay.
Luca's first mission, Luca's second mission.
Whatever those are.
The most annoying character in the fucking game.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, I mean that's weird on 2 aspects because it's like one, like I've never met anyone who particularly cares about Luca. Mm-hmm. So like getting his own 2, like basically like 5-hour little mini campaigns that play differently from the rest of the game is so weird, right? And then also this is not a game that's content starved, I would say. Mm-hmm. So like it's not like more content is what I was kind of craving from the Wonderful 101.
Yeah.
I was more expecting a fine-tuning of the game, and that aspect did not happen.
Yeah, some quality of life changes, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, fine-tuning quality of life, and like neither of those things happened. Like it's, I mean, arguably, it's like gameplay-wise, it's a step back from the Wii U version, because you don't have the gamepad, and you have less moves available to you from the start.
Yeah.
Wow. You heard it here first. Muzzy likes the gamepad more than the Switch.
Yeah. That was the lesson learned.
Yeah. It sucks to hear that they haven't really did much to adapt it to the Switch other than just port it over and just use the minus button every time. Yeah.
I guess the one difference with the dual screen stuff is instead of doing picture in picture, there's actually an option where you can like display 2 separate screens, basically. On one screen. Obviously, the Switch, PS4 are only one singular screen games, right? But like you can like, so basically like it'll have one screen and then like right next to it'll have the other screen. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having it like overlaid onto your game, you can do some. I'm pretty sure you also just straight up cannot change your lead character. Because you know how you can collect different wonderful ones, right? Up to 100.
Yeah.
And so you could change your lead, and some of them have different attributes. Like you could get someone who uses Unite Punch, but is a heavyweight character, right? For example.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm pretty sure you can't change your lead character without the second screen.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's weird. It's bizarre. It is. I don't know, man. Like yeah, they really just did the bare bones to throw this on modern platforms.
Okay.
It's just what can do. I've also been playing a little game called Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn.
No way.
I beat the main scenario for A Realm Reborn, so now I'm in the quests between the main game and the first expansion, Heaven's Word,
right?
Which is notorious for being like the most kind of the worst part of that game, right? It's just the most fetch questy.
Do you have to do it?
Huh?
Do you have to do it?
You have to do it to get to Heaven's Word. Yeah. because it apparently sets up very important story details that get brought up all the way into the newest expansion, Shadowbringers.
Jeez.
Yeah, apparently story-wise very important, but gameplay-wise not so great. They are, I mean, I kind of picked up FF14 at the worst time because in about the patch 5.3 patch was scheduled for June, but now it kind of got delayed by at least a month. They said so, July, maybe August even. Where they're actually revamping a Realm Reborn and the quests and the post Realm Reborn pre Heavensward, the 2.x patch quests. They're completely revamping it. They're completely getting rid of 13 whole quests out of that line. And of the existing quests, they're toning down the steps required a lot, so you don't have to go here, then there, then back to that NPC, then back to that. You know what I mean, right?
So they're just cutting out the needless bloat in that.
They're cutting out a lot of the fluff, and that's coming in the upcoming patch, which is great. But I got the itch right now because we're in quarantine and school's over, and I have nothing else to do in my life.
Yeah,
you have hundreds of games to play.
I don't know. I just really feel like I want to play 14, and I don't know. I don't want to wait. So
MMOs do have that fucking power over you, man. Like, they just get you in that grind,
right? And to be honest, like I'm still enjoying the game a lot. Like, even with the fetch questies nonsense, I'm still like having fun. So like, you know, if I don't play the revamp, that's fine. I don't really feel like I'd rather play now than wait. So that's okay.
Fair enough.
Game was great though. I really enjoyed the main game. Very meaty content. And the best part of 14, well, two best parts about 14 for someone like me is that number one, works amazing with the controller, which is crazy for an MMO, right?
Yeah.
And then number two is very soloable. Like,
okay.
You don't really need to play with people to get to the content. Obviously, when you get to like the dungeons you can queue. You have to queue up. But the FF14 community, like, first of all, you don't really have trouble finding people to play with. The duty finder system works really well, right?
Yeah, it's like that in Warcraft.
Yeah. But then also, like, the community is very nice. The community is so nice, very understanding. Like, every time you start a dungeon, it'll tell you, like, hey, one or more players is new to this dungeon, right?
Yeah.
And then so, like, the people who have played, they kind of take the lead. But, like, not overwhelming so where they're carrying you. And obviously, it syncs their level to where they should be in that point in the story. So that way, they're not just completely overpowered, right?
Yeah.
So it's still, there's a semblance of balance there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really enjoying F14. I'm really excited to get into Heavensward because, you know.
Because you want to see 2B eventually.
I mean, I do want to see 2B eventually, which is going to take me 3 more expansions, but I'll get there at some point. Yeah. Believe. Yeah.
It's good to know that it does full control play really, really well because it's out on the PlayStation 4, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's coming to Xbox One eventually too, or Series X. They're in talks with Phil Spencer, and they sort of said like it's coming to Xbox. Yeah, but it's on PS4 right now. It's been out since launch, I think. Since the launch of PS4.
So people who have a PC and have a lot of free time in quarantine.
Exactly. It's actually for the next couple days. If you log in, you can play. They're giving a Realm Reborn for free and with a 30-day subscription on PS4.
Oh shit! Really?
So, yeah, till I think like the 27th ish, something like that. So hey, now's the best time to get in. It's completely free.
Like, every single friend that I know that plays fucking Final Fantasy 14 is just super addicted to it. Like, they just find it so fun.
Yeah, and I think it's also cool that there's like, I mean, this is more the case with the expansions, right? But like, I think it's cool that there's an MMO where like people are raving about the story. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, some people who have played Shadowbringers are like legit call it like the best Final Fantasy story since the PS1 at least. Right? If not longer. like so I've heard people call it like one of the best Final Fantasy stories ever told. Period. You know, which is, I mean, hey, I think that's pretty crazy that an MMO has that title.
Yeah.
Well,
But even gameplay,
we'll see when we play in the game club.
Hey, yeah, next game club game.
Oh, good luck with that.
You can get the fuck out of here with
Fucking
that.
easy, bro. Set it down, I'll do it.
Oh my god.
I think Brandon Noah would literally kill you if you picked it for the
They
game.
try. I don't know if they could actually do it.
Well, you know. Alright, well, that's what I've been playing. Brandon, save the best for last.
Thanks. Glad you have that confidence in me. Well, besides, I mean, the obvious shit, I've been playing the upcoming Game Club game, Amnesia. I already beat it. I'm not really going to talk about it because there'll be a whole episode about that. Final Fantasy VII I recently beat. Not really going to talk about that because I'll talk about it beginning of next year. But I gotta say, good game. Not a good game. Fucking great game. Fucking awesome ass game. So, yeah, Final Fantasy VII, really good. The original, by the way, not the remake.
Not the remake, yeah.
No.
The original
OG Final Fantasy game. Finally got around.
Like, I think that game holds up really well.
Yeah, no, it does. I really liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun playing that game. So
I think once you get over the graphics of that game, right, which I think is a hurdle for people because they do look weird.
It's a
They're
product of
weirdos.
its time. It's whatever. I don't really knock it too hard. There's a couple times where it's a little silly looking, but I mean, that's one of the things I liked about it. I don't really want to talk about it too much. I will say that was one of the things I really liked about Final Fantasy VII, and I don't know if this is actually my first Final Fantasy game, believe it or not.
Oh shit.
And I don't know if this carries through the rest of the series, but one of the things I just admired was it didn't take itself too serious all the time. Like the main core of the story, yeah, it was there's a lot of serious stuff going on, but there's a lot of silly shit going on in between, and I liked that.
Yeah, I mean, FF7 is very goofy, right? It's a very goofy game.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like that the rest of the series. I feel like it's not, from what I've seen.
It is. It's generally.
It is?
It generally is.
Okay. I mean, Final Fantasy X, from what I've seen, it seems like that. But from some of the other ones, it didn't seem like it as much. But I do like the goofy and funny shit that's going on all in between oh shit, the world's gonna fucking come to an end and some crazy motherfucker is killing people. Like, and then in between, you got muscle men and like people dancing and it's just a lot of silly shit going on. I like that. It's a good balance of stuff. And I feel like if it was all serious all the time, I would get a little tired of it, honestly, and just be like, "Wow, this game, has a stick up its ass. It's kind of boring." But because it does a really awesome job of keeping you engaged with switching it up. So I did like that. But we're talking about Kickstarter games here. I might as well talk about another one, right? Because in between all of that, I picked up an old Kickstarter game that I got back in 2017 and played for a few hours and put down and said, bro, I gotta get back and fucking finally beat this. And that's Yooka-Laylee. I finally just picked it back up and beat it, played it all the way through. And I'm glad I did because a lot of updates and work has honestly gone into that game since it launched. And I think they're done with it now at this point.
Yes, I believe they said they're pretty much done updating that game.
But I waited a couple years and it feels like now. I mean, I played it like 4 or 5 hours when it first came out, and I had some things to say about it at the time. Like, it was okay. It didn't really control well. They did really address a lot of that, and they went back and. It does control better. I would say much better. Though it's not... I still think it's not up to, like, Nintendo standards in terms of polish and controls.
Right. Like even like the Banjo-Kazooie games.
Or even Banjo-Kazooie. Right. It doesn't control as well as those, but it controls better than when it first came out. A little bit of camera issues here and there in the game. But overall, I mean, it's this game got a lot of flack Not as much necessarily as Mighty Number 9 did, but it still got a lot of flack for when it came out. I think, kind of like Mighty Number 9, removed from the situation it was in, it's a fine game.
Well, I
in
think
fact,
Mighty Number 9, removed from the situation it is like a mediocre game still.
it's still a
kind of.
It's not that bad.
game.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, but it leans more mediocre than good.
Yeah, I will say that this game, better than that. But yeah, it's a good game. I really, honestly, there was some times of bringing me back. Feeling that 3D platforming. It's really good, and I really, honestly, really fucking hard sometimes even. It's much harder than I think. A lot of those games were. Like, there's these minecart sections, obviously a throwback to like the Donkey Kong minecart stuff.
Yeah.
And those can be really fucking hard. Like, I never thought any of the Donkey Kong minecart sections were hard. Maybe a couple of them in like the Return series, but like in the original game, none of them were difficult really. Like these.
Would you say they're unfairly hard or?
It's like middle. It's like sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the game's sometimes
still very
a little
trial and error-esque, but you could overcome it.
Yeah. The game's a little glitchy sometimes. Like I said, a little camera angle issues here and there. But I mean, overall, good game. Ukulele. I would say you should give it a try if you like 3D platformers and like the golden age of them, but heard a lot of bad things about this game. I think it's worth your time and effort now in 2020 after all the updates, and it's got a cool 64 tonic that you can put in, and they basically remade the entire game to look like it was made on N64, and that's really 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 fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that thing took forever to release, right? But like they put a surprising amount of effort into it.
Yeah,
like it looks. It
looks really, really awesome. It's a whole entire game. Yeah, you can play the whole game like that, and it's really cool that they did that. And yeah, ukulele. That's it. I played a game today, Tacoma. Don't really have a lot to say about it. It was 3 hours, and maybe it's not worth your time.
Official review of Tacoma. Maybe not.
It's fine. It's fine. If you want to play it, play it. But I'm not going to tell you to.
Yeah, I played the ukulele sequel, Impossible Lair. I really like that game. That's a completely different game. It's a 2D platformer.
Yes. Yes.
But more in the vein of Donkey Kong Country. But I really like that game. It's a really good
one.
So.
I'll tell you what. I'll be playing that game real soon.
Okay. Well, those are the kind of games we've been playing. That's about it for this week. We got one more thing to do, of course, and that is the list.
The list!
Now, you could follow along in the paste bin in the description below, because the list is not a best of list, but what it is every week we add a game and we rank it against every other game that we've added to the list previously. So the list is pretty long right now, I would say. But this week, I said we have one more thing to do, but actually we have two more things to do because Saf has been gone for a while. Mm-hmm. And we like to give everyone the same amount of picks, right? Right now we all have about 22. Ills was coming up on his 22nd pick for the list. Saf is 2 behind now, though. So Saf, this is his opportunity to catch up. Indeed. He had 2 games. Saf, what did we have last week? I forgot to mention that. Always forget to.
Will added Sonic Generations.
Will added Sonic Generations last week.
Seems like more than a week ago, I'll tell you.
At number 103, Saf, what is the first game you want to add today?
Well, I want to pick in celebration of Nintendo Switch like hitting good sales numbers. I want to pick, if this wasn't the first announced game, it was one of the very first announced games for the Nintendo Switch, and it's Dragon Quest XI-S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition.
I think that was literally the first game announced for the NX. Also, this is also in the grand tradition of screwing over Will.
Fucking Will.
Yeah,
So hard.
Will is dead right now. Will is having a fucking heart attack wherever he is.
Yeah, this is However, I've only played an hour of it, so I don't believe I'm qualified to talk about this game.
I played it. I know Ilse has.
Yep.
You need 3. Brandon, have you played Dragon Quest XI?
Not even for 1 second.
Huh?
What?
Not for 1 second.
Not for
Not
1
for a
second. Okay.
Well
Well,
then.
okay. Will, crisis averted.
Yes.
What is it? You're lucky I haven't played it yet. 'Cause
Next time, you guys are both here, whenever that is. Who knows?
Yeah, don't worry, Saf. I'll play it. I'll play it so next time Will's not here, we can rank.
Well, Ills,
100%,
no,
yeah.
you
It'll
have
stay,
Ills.
yeah.
You don't need to play it.
It will stay hidden until then. The other option I have is Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood.
Oh.
Never played that game.
I've never played
that
it.
game either.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, man.
I hated that game. I want to put it in the fucking.
I'm sad for you that you played it.
I'm sad for me too. It was not that great.
Maybe me and Ills will play it someday.
How about
Maybe. Who can say?
Shantae and the Pirate's Curse?
I
I've
haven't
played
played that game.
Played that game.
Nope.
That's 3. Brandon,
3.
you played it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I played
Yeah,
that
you
game.
played it's a Shantae game. Of course you played it. Okay, let's talk about Shantae the Pirate's Curse. Saf, what about Shantae the Pirate's Curse?
It's I fucking just pulled it out of my arse in the last second, so I haven't actually fully figured it out. But it's literally just like it starts. The story's basically, Shantae has no powers, and you kind of start off, with, well, you basically just. What the fuck happens in Shantae and the Pirate's Curse? I don't fucking know.
I'll tell you.
Like
you have to save Risky, your biggest rival.
yeah.
You and Risky work together, and you get her power ups in replace of the normal Shantae gameplay where you get magical transformations.
Mhm.
Instead, in this game, you guys are teaming up to fight an old pirate curse, obviously, and it's going to destroy the world. And you team up with her, and you use like her different like weapons and stuff become your power ups instead. And I really like that. I think this is my favorite Shantae game so far. I mean,
I wholeheartedly agree that I think this is the best Shantae game, and it's not even close, to be honest.
yeah,
Like-
I mean, there's a new one coming out fucking this week. But so far, I mean, this is my favorite one. I really fucking love this game. I think it was great. It's a good Metroidvania. Obviously, Shantae doesn't have her powers, but you can't have a Metroidvania game without somebody. If it's
Losing
a
all their
sequel, the
powers.
person has to lose all their powers.
They gotta lose all their powers, yeah. And I thought like the pirate power ups were actually a really fun shake up to Shantae, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
they're
And
awesome.
I think just in general, like removed from the Shantae franchise, I think this is just a really good Metroidvania game. You know?
It is.
It's
It's a
pretty
very-
decent, yeah. Like
Yeah, it's a pretty well designed world, I would say. You know,
Mhm.
it does feel like the most fun I had out of those power ups is like the very last level of that game where they kind of like really really pushes your like skills and knowledge with those powers quite well when you're just running up to the boss fight. Like that's the most fun I've had with those power ups, and like the game and the music is pretty fun and pretty light-hearted and silly as well.
yeah, for sure.
Which is
I love
kind
the
of
music.
standard from like Shantae anyway. So like it keeps up that trend.
Having
Yeah.
good music, yeah.
Yeah.
Jake Kaufman is
Mhm.
he also composed Shovel Knight, also great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, like I played it. I found it pretty decent. Like I didn't find it as fun as you guys did. Like in terms of like Metroidvanias. Up until
fair.
like the last level. Like the last level was
I mean, it's
really,
no
really
Super
interesting.
Metroid or fucking Castlevania Symphony of Night, but I mean, in terms of the genre pool, it's pretty fucking good.
I think it's at least pretty good in terms of Metroidvanias, right? If not like best of the best or in that top category, right? I think it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's I mean the sprite work is fantastic in this game. It's just
It's awesome.
visually very
It's my
nice.
favorite art style of Shantae.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely
yeah.
like it more than the games that came after it.
Yeah, the half genie hero art style, not a huge fan. And then like Seven Sirens, even though it's not out, it was out on Apple Arcade or whatever. But like, it has like the main art style is I like a lot, but then like the in-game sprites are the same like art style as half genie hero, which I just didn't like as much.
That was my exact same issue with
yeah, I mean, it's gameplay is king, so who haven't played the game yet.
Yeah,
so we'll
but I think those aspects do add up, right?
Sure.
We'll
this
talk about Patches though. This game,
Pirates, Pirates Curse, my favorite.
The game,
local
it's very
content.
tight, right? Like the controls are very it controls very well.
Yeah, once you get all the power ups, I really like it a lot too. I love the cannon where it lets you hop over.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the hat where you do the glide with the hat, and you can hop over, keep shooting the cannon up to just keep getting across gaps and stuff. It's really cool. I really like all the power ups in combination with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You can glide across the areas, and it's very good, seamless.
Well, Saf, where do you want to put Shantae in the Pirates Curse?
I want to put it obviously above Shantae itself.
Yeah, easy.
Easy question. I want to put it below Mario Party 2. So 94.
94. Okay, so that would be right above Wonderful 101.
Yeah.
I would personally put it a little bit higher. I'd put it above Mario Party 2 at least.
Okay, I have to think. Brandon, is there any specific place you were thinking about putting it?
I mean, in terms of in that same area, maybe just below Alundra, maybe right above Alundra, actually.
I mean, I would say Stardew Valley is definitely my hard cap.
Right.
It's not better than Stardew Valley. I've never played Night in the Woods, so I can't really compare there. I mean, I do personally. I would.
Personally, I'd put it above Alundra. That's just me. That's my taste.
Yeah.
So.
I had more fun with Normal Heroes and Sonic All-Star Racing.
Yeah, and my issue more is the games below Alundra. I would put it above Alundra, but not above some of these games that are below Alundra. Definitely, I think it should go above 101. I think it's a better game than 101. Easy.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
Sorry, 101.
There's also I forgot there was fucking Golden Sun on that as well. I wouldn't put it above Golden Sun.
Sun's a really good game.
Yeah.
I could put it above.
I would put it above Golden Sun personally, but Sin and Punishment is kind of, I think, or my sticking point right now. I'm looking at Sin and Punishment Star Successor, 91. And we're talking about gameplay. Boy, howdy, that game.
That game's fucking great. Yeah.
It is incredible.
So fun.
I don't know if I'd use the word incredible. It is really good.
I mean, I think I like Star Successor more than most people, maybe. But I'm a big fan of it.
It's a really fun ass game. I mean, I wish Star Successor could have been in an arcade cabinet where you sit down and the fucking thing moves and shit. That would have been the coolest shit I've ever played.
Yeah.
Just add to the experience.
Hmm.
And you want to put it above all those games, Brandon? Yeah.
I mean, I definitely want to put it above Mario Party 2. I want to put it above Illusion of Gaia.
I'll give you above Mario Party 2, and I've never played Illusion Gaia, so sure.
Yeah, I'll put it. I can compromise and put it below Star Successor. Above. Would that be okay?
I feel pretty good in that spot, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, I would want it higher, obviously, but if that's where you guys are landing, that's fine with me as well.
Okay.
Alright, cool. So, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is number 92. Surrounding it, we got Chibi Robo, Sin and Punishment Star Successor, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, Illusion of Gaia, and Mario Party 2. And then, Safi, you have one more pick.
Yeah.
What are you going to...
So Shantae was the very, very last minute thing that's oh shit, I've played this game. But the other choice I had was Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, okay. I have played this game.
Let's scroll up then.
Yeah, scroll up.
I have not played this game, so.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tell me a little about Shadow of the Colossus, Seth.
PlayStation 2. It was a fantastic I I want to say exploration and puzzle game, because it's literally like what you're doing here is you need to I think it was like your wife you have to save, and in order to save her, you would have to um,
Kill the 13 Colossuses.
kill the 13 Colossus. Like you have to find them in the wild. Colossi. Sure. You have to find them in the wild, and you'd have to try and figure out, okay, how to best approach those Colossi, and then figure out a way to just climb on top, and find a weak spot, and just fucking murk the shit out of them. And it was just a fantastic puzzle, and just it was such a great visual. Like the environments and the Colossus itself was so great visually to see, and it was just so majestic to watch them move and just interact with and try and fuck you up as a result.
Yeah, there's not a lot of fat in this game. It's basically like a boss rush game. You just go to each Colossi, try to figure out how to kill them, and the game does a really good job at like making the fights feel like super epic. Like it feels amazing to kill them.
For sure, like the sense of satisfaction you get when you take one down is just, I mean, it's so good, right? Yeah. And I think Saf used the word majestic, and I think that's such a good word to describe Shadow of the Colossus.
It is,
right?
Yeah.
You just, and I kind of feel that way about like the world too, right? I think it has such an interesting look to it, and like there's this sense of like, you just immediately when you play that game, you have this sense of intrigue. I feel, right, this sense of mystique of like what's going on in this world, that I think is very unique to this game, right? Which is fantastic, and I mean, even on PS2, this game was great, but I think the PS4 version is just, I mean, it's
oh my god, better. Yeah, right. They step it up greatly.
I mean, the visuals are gore. It looks like a modern game, right? It just looks like a modern game, and
I assume you guys are ranking the PS4 version, correct?
Yeah, it's the best version of the game. So
I only play the PS2 version, so I'm gonna take your word for it.
Okay, I mean, it's basically the same game except the controls are better now. Yeah, and it's prettier. Some people are not a fan of the art style. I'm personally not one of those people. I just think it looks better, you know.
Yeah. Was it? I might be mistaken here. Was it Bluepoint that made this?
Yes, Bluepoint remade this game, and I mean, I think like Shadow Colossus. I mean, I think it's funny, right? Because Shadow Colossus came out 2005. Right? Yeah. And its direct successor, you could say, The Last Guardian, came out in PS4, and
is a tragedy.
Yeah, I like the Shadow Colossus is just, I think, better. It's
in every way. Yeah, The Last Guardian is a fucking travesty.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't disagree. And not to shit on The Last Guardian too much, but I just think that, like, I mean, The Last Guardian, I mean, Shadow of the Colossus, like, it feels like that's a game that if it released, even if it released for the first time today, I think it would get rave reception. I think it would still become this cult classic because it's just there's something to this game that's just so timeless. I feel, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Shout out to the horse, man, aggro. Bro. So I kind of was looking at it, and I was hoping to put it. Somewhere in the above 20 at the very least, right?
I want it above Mario Odyssey.
Whoa!
This game is fucking incredible.
Here's the thing. I'm not sure I disagree.
Good.
But I am afraid of the backlash.
Fuck that.
I'm happy with that, to be honest with you. Like I was wondering like if you guys were gonna jump on it, so I was like,
no,
maybe I'll be
conservative. Fucking incredible.
Yes, let's put it above Odyssey. This game deserves to be above Odyssey. It's just fucking.
My fucking
god. Give me a second. I have to think about. Oh wow! I mean.
Well, I mean, me and Saf make two.
Yeah, you and Saf make two, so you immediately have it. But like,
I mean, if you have like something that you want to like contribute? Or, like,
No, I mean I can only say positive things about this game. You know, I think that this game. I mean, just personally, I'm very emotionally attached to this game. But even aside, I mean,
It's hard not to get emotionally attached to this game.
Yeah,
It's that effective.
No, you're absolutely right. You know, and I just think it's such a. I mean, it's an open world game, right? You could call it an open world game in a way.
Sort
right?
of.
I mean, that's kind of all the game is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's no map markers, there's no mini map, there's no waypoints,
There's no talking.
There's no talking. Yeah, you know, fluff does not exist in Shadow Classes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's a very concise game, which is weird to say because you know people talk about video games like they have these weird oddities to them, whatever this and that, right? But I think that like, fluff is not a word I would use for these games though, right? Like it's just I think the game is what it is. Like here's 13 colossi. You gotta find them. You gotta take them down. Right? It's just it's as simple as that. The concept is just that simple, but the execution is just so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And the atmosphere of this game, like just everything, man. Yeah, no, it should go above Mario Odyssey.
You guys don't. I'm just listen. I just want to say, if one of you motherfuckers does not pick fucking next year for me to play this game, I will kill you. Okay?
you can play it on your own. You know, it's not.
No, I'm not.
Game.
I got a lot of shit to play, but I'm just saying. Now I got a really good game on the list to play. If you motherfuckers pick some stupid shit for me to play.
I mean, we only picked good games for you to play.
Yeah. You mean to tell me you never had fun with the Cave Story?
I mean, you had long games. You had good games. Yeah, all the games are good.
Are you Shadow of the Colossus is an 80 hour?
I mean,
No, it's
Shadow
like 10.
Colossus is like 7
Maybe
hours,
8,
yeah.
I played it through like in one sitting, and I beat it
I'm
twice.
just saying I really want to play. You guys
Yeah,
give me
I also
high praise. I want to play the
yeah,
fucking
and
game.
it was. I mean, man, that one
Because it's that addictive. It's that addictive. I mean, it's that fucking good.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Well, this was I did not expect this game to get so high. So surrounding it, we got Dark Souls at number 4, Resident Evil 4 at number 5, Shadow Colossus 6, Mario Odyssey is number 7, and Final Fantasy 7 at number 8. Something broke through the top 10.
Fucking Final Fantasy 7 is not number 7 anymore, and I'm gonna cry.
It had a long reign at 7, though. To be fair, it was at 7 for quite a while. Wow. Will, you missed a big one.
Still managed to find a way to screw him over.
Okay, well, that was the podcast. I think for not having too much news, we did a good job. I'm gonna pat everyone on the back. Okay?
The only kind of job we do around here.
Sometimes it's hard, you know. Like we're a news-based podcast, and when there's no news, it's hard. But we find a way. Well, if you enjoy this podcast, Brandon, you want to give us some plugs on where you can find us?
Sure. If you did,
hold on.
Oh, okay.
While he does that, Saf, I want you to think of the final thing to say. You're gonna take us out. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Well, if you did enjoy Jump Up Supercast, make sure you check us out on your favorite podcast listening service of your choice. We're on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube, where you can find new episodes every single Monday. And you can also find new episodes of the Jump Up Supercast Game Club, hosted by me and also starring Ills, and then our other good friend Noah. And we play video games there every 2 weeks, and we come back and we talk about them. It's every other Thursday. So if you want to just hear us talk about one game for 40 minutes and then put it on the list, maybe we played some of your favorites. Check it out. Give us a follow, a like, or a share, and feel free to let us know what you thought about maybe some of the games we talked about, if you played them, and if we put a game on the wrong spot on the list, just tell us in the comments and support us if you want to support us at all. If you like what we do have a Patreon, and we really appreciate that. You definitely don't have to, but if you do want to support us, you can. And for as low as $1 a month, you can get access to our Discord chat, Discord server where we talk about games. And also, we let our patrons pick a game for the game club that we play every round, where we go around and we play one of their games. And right now, we're actually playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent, a classic, I guess, as some people will call it. And that's a Patreon pick. So look at that. Perfect timing. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to stay up to date on everything Jump Up Supercast related. And sometimes we even we even stream on twitch.tv/Jump Up Supercast. And maybe we'll play Pac-Man. What the fuck? Pac-Man Live Studio? Is that what it's called?
Pac-Man Live Studio. Yeah.
Maybe we'll play that when it comes out. Who fucking knows? And Saf, why don't you take us out, buddy? You take us away with your. Actually, thank you for listening. Now, Saf, take us out with the final phrase.
Got it. So, it's been a busy time in my life because I've been fasting, and hence why I haven't had enough time to just be on the podcast. But we're finishing up fast soon, and to all my Muslim brothers out there, hope you had a good Eid al-Fitr. Eid Mubarak.